Lawafionga, may I have the permission to proceed with the program of credentialing?
You may proceed.
Lawafionga, Ilia malo tuto tasio Samoa. Lawafionga, Tumalili Fano, Vale Toa, Swallovi Lua. I have the honor to introduce to you His Excellency Archbishop Novatus Rugambwa, appointed Apostolic Nuncio of the Nunciature of the Holy See to Samoa.
Your Highness, Head of State of the Independent State of Samoa, I have the honor to present to you the letter of credence appointing me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, that's the Apostolic Nuncio of the Holy See to the Independent State of Samoa. I also have the honor to present the letter of recall for my predecessor.
Excellency, I cordially accept your letter of credence and thank you for presenting the letter of recall for your predecessor.
Your Highness, I am deeply honored to present, even though just virtually, the letter that His Holiness Pope Francis has addressed to your Highness, accrediting me as Apostolic Nuncio to the Independent State of Samoa. I'm equally honored to present to you the letter of recall of my predecessor, Archbishop Martin Krebs, who has been called for other responsibilities. For reasons well known to all of us, this ceremony is taking place via Zoom. The health crisis triggered by COVID-19 virus has so badly affected the entire world that, among other things, the imposed travel restrictions are infringing the freedom of movement. Surely, I would have wished to make my first visit to Samoa for this ceremony, but at this moment, that is impossible. While much is being done to overcome the pandemic, we can also hope and pray that we shall overcome the correlated obstacles. One of the lessons that we are learning during the ongoing pandemic is that the nations should tirelessly enhance their relationship at both bilateral and multilateral levels. This is an imperative based not only on necessities of particular moments, but also on the fundamental principle of our being. That is, we are created in the image and likeness of God, called to cultivate friendship among ourselves, and therefore destined to collaborate fraternally in facing local and global challenges. It is in this context of God-based fraternity and friendship among the people of all nations that Pope Francis is accrediting me as his representative to the noble nation of Samoa. In fact, for many years, the Holy See has promoted friendship and good relations with the Samoan people. This fact is evidenced not only by the arrival of the missionaries from 1845 or the nomination of Pio Taofinu as the first Polynesian bishop and cardinal, or the visit of Pope St. Paul the 6th on the 29th November 1970, or the establishment of the diplomatic relations on the 10th of June 1994, but also by the dedicated service in health, social work, education, Christian formation for all, performed by many priests, religious men and women, lay men and women, catechists, and numerous Catholic organizations. Moreover, the Holy See and the Independent State of Samoa have joined hands in the international forums on matters regarding the defense of human life, the promotion of peace in the world, and the protection of our environment. Your Highness, it is my determination to strengthen these relations between the Holy See and the Independent State of Samoa, confident that the one and triune God, happily mentioned in the Constitution of this nation, will continue to protect our efforts in nurturing a human integral development and an equitable international system. At the same time, I express on behalf of His Holiness Pope Francis heartfelt best wishes for health, prosperity, and spiritual strength to Your Highness, to the government, and to all the citizens of Samoa. May God bless the independent state of Samoa.
Lawa fionga ila malo. I have the honor to introduce to you His Excellency, Mr. Jekos Kowal, Ambassador Designate of Poland to Samoa.
Lawa fioga ile aole malo, tui malea lifiano va aletoa sualauvi II. I have the honor to present to you the letters of credence appointing me as the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Poland to Independent State of Samoa. I have also honored to present the letter of recall of my predecessor.
Excellency, I cordially accept your letter of credence and thank you for presenting the letter of recall for your predecessor.
Your Highness, I have an honor to present letters of credence and the letter of recall from Andrzej Duda, the President of the Republic of Poland, to Your Highness, Head of State of the Independent State of Samoa. Undoubtedly, the Pacific area is one of the most important regions in the world. Taking into account its importance, Poland wishes to be present and visible here as well. This is why we are gradually establishing diplomatic relations with countries within the Pacific community. On March 8, 2012, our representatives signed a joint communique on the establishment of the diplomatic relations between the Republic of Poland and the Independent State of Samoa. This year, we celebrate its 10th anniversary. I wish to assure Your Highness about my willingness to travel to Independent State of Samoa as soon as it's feasible to make a personal calls on the representatives of Samoan government and respective authorities. I believe that such a visit will stress the importance of our mutual relations, especially on its 10th anniversary. Although distance from Poland to Samoa is almost 16,000 kilometers, relations between our countries are firmly based on common values we share: democracy, respect for international law, and human rights. We also share the same view on current global political situation. In this regard, I would like to thank Independent State of Samoa for its firm position condemning Russian aggression on Ukraine. The rhetoric used today by the Russian government is deeply worrying and gruesomely reminiscent of 1939, when Soviet Union, together with Nazi Germany, invaded Poland. Our past experience explains why Poland stayed so firmly in solidarity with Ukraine today. Poland is a committed member of the international community. We are an active member of the European Union and NATO, as well as committed member of the United Nations. Saying that, I would like to stress and acknowledge our very good cooperation on international fora. The Republic of Poland also shares common view with the independent state of Samoa on climate change. It is a global challenge requiring joint efforts. While being a committed member of the international community, Poland was a host of COP24, which proved to be our unique engagement in the improvement of the global climate change policy. It was also an event the Samoan delegation had participated in. As the Polish ambassador accredited to the Independent State of Samoa, resident in Wellington, I will be honored to make every effort to develop our bilateral cooperation further and assist our government and nations in projects which may bring benefits to our countries and people. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Lawa Fionga i le amalo malo. I have the honor to introduce to you Her Excellency, Mrs. Fatima Unse, Ambassador Designate of Turkey to Samoa.
Your Highness, I have the honor to present to you the letter of credence appointing me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Turkey to the Independent State of Samoa. I also have the honor to present the letter of recall for my predecessor.
Excellency, I cordially accept your letter of credence and thank you for presenting the letter of recall for your predecessor.
Your Highness, I'm delighted to take this opportunity to convey to you the warmest regards from the President of the Republic of Turkey and his best wishes for everlasting friendship and cooperation between our two countries. Your Highness, this year we marked the 43rd anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic relations. It is with great satisfaction to observe that despite immense geographical distance, over 4 decades, our countries have been able to sustain cordial relations and cooperate on issues of mutual concern. However, COVID-19 pandemic has aggravated existing challenges all around the world. It also reminded us that we are in the same boat and we need to work together. As a dialogue partner of the Pacific Islands Forum, Turkey took an active stand in Pacific countries' fight against the recent challenges. Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency has undertaken several projects in the independent state of Samoa, and it's eager to do more. Our Asia Anew initiative aims to boost engagement in Asia and in the Pacific region. In line with this policy, we are determined to improve Turkish-Samoan relations in wide range of bilateral and multilateral fields. Your Highness, last but not least, I would like to thank our Dean in the Wellington, High Commissioner of Independent State of Samoa, for his kind support and for organizing this virtual ceremony. We will miss him dearly. I'm looking forward to working with Samoan colleagues to contribute to furthering friendly relations between our countries for mutual benefit of Turkish and Samoan people. Thank you.
Lawa Fionga i le amalo malo. I have the honor to introduce to you His Excellency Zsoltz Hetesi, Ambassador Designate of Hungary to Samoa.
Lau Afionga, Ileao, Olemalo, Tui Maleali Ifano, Vaalatua, Sualauvi II. I have the honor to present to you my letter of credence, appointing me as Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Hungary to the Independent State of Samoa. I also have the honor to present the letter of recall of my predecessor.
Excellency, I cordially accept your letter of credence and thank you for presenting the letter of recall for your predecessor.
Your Highness, thank you for accepting my letter of credence and also receiving the letter of recall of my predecessor. May I take this opportunity to convey to Your Excellency, to Your Highness, the warmest regards from the Hungarian President and best wishes for the continued friendship and cooperation between our countries. Your Highness, the diplomatic relations between our countries are relatively new, having been established in 2011. I am proud to represent Hungary as its third ambassador accredited to the Independent State of Samoa. As the pandemic hopefully weakens and also travel restrictions ease, Hungary is ready to join forces with the Independent State of Samoa to reinforce our bilateral relations and to cooperate on global causes, such as sustainable development and the fight against climate change and its harmful effects on the oceans and island states. In the coming year, I plan to visit the Independent State of Samoa in person to gain deeper knowledge about your esteemed country and to focus on the enhancing of our economic, cultural, and educational ties. Hungary, as a member of the European Union, fully supports the organization's recently adopted Indo-Pacific cooperation strategy, and we are ready to take part in its implementation. Therefore, Hungary will also boost its presence and activities in the Pacific region. Hungary and the Independent State of Samoa are already like-minded partners in the international fora, sharing fundamental values and common goals. This cooperation can be further enhanced in New York, as starting from September 2022, a Hungarian ambassador, Csaba Kőrösi, becomes president of the General Assembly of the United Nations. Having been the co-chair of the open working group that framed and adopted the Sustainable Development Goals, Ambassador Kőrösi will have those issues high on his agenda. Your Highness, these are just a few stepping stones for our enhanced cooperation as we look forward to receiving your suggestions and proposals. Your Highness, I hereby affirm my commitment to work with you diligently for the above-mentioned goals in the interest of our people and our countries, while I sincerely count on your cordial support and assistance. Thank you, for Highness.
Your Excellency, Archbishop Novatus Ugamwa, Samoa established formal diplomatic ties with the Holy See in June 1994. Therefore, this year marks the 28th anniversary of formal relations between Samoa and the Holy See. However, our connection and friendship goes back to the arrival of the Catholic missionaries in Samoa since 1845, and how it's very much influenced and structured our religious beliefs and values at present. Our relation is characterized by people-to-people relations. The visit of Pope Paul VI in 1970 was indeed a historical occasion for Samoa, being the first papal visit to the South Pacific. Over the years, Samoa has had high-level delegations at the level of head of state and head of government to visit the Holy See and held audiences with His Holiness Pope Francis. These events are landmarks of our relations, which continues to develop from strength to strength and underpinned by our Christian beliefs and world peace. At the multilateral setting, Samoa continues to collaborate with the Holy See on issues of mutual interest, such as the promotion of world peace, protection of human life, as well as addressing and responding to the existential threats of climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. Samoa continues to value the Holy See's partnership and support at the multilateral fora. I convey through you my warm and best wishes for the good health of His Holiness Pope Francis, and implore for continuous prayers for our country and our people. Excellency, I wish you well in your tenure as Nuncio of the Holy See to Samoa. Mr. Kirkos Kowal, this year marks the 10th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Samoa and Poland, a milestone in our growing bilateral relations. I am delighted to learn of Poland's efforts and commitment to establish a consulate office of the Republic of Poland in Apia to commemorate this anniversary and to strengthen our bilateral relations. Samoa and Poland have collaborated on interests of mutual concern at the United Nations, such as peace and security, human rights, climate change and oceans, issues that are of importance to Samoa and other small island developing countries. Poland's hosting of the COP24 in Katowice in 2019 showed commitment in discussing issues pertaining to climate change and the Paris Agreement to strengthen countries' abilities and support their efforts to deal with the impacts of climate change and existential threat to our small islands and region. Samoa has also supported candidatures of Poland to the United Nations organs and to other international organizations, showing mutual respect and support for its partners. Excellency, I wish you well in your tenure as Ambassador of the Republic of Poland to Samoa. Your Excellency, Mrs. Fatma Omar Unshai, Excellency, this year marks the 43rd anniversary since the establishment of Samoa and Turkish diplomatic relations. It is heartened to note that despite our geographical distance, our two countries have managed to closely collaborate and promote issues of mutual concern, particularly at the United Nations. Our two countries share a common interest in addressing challenges in the areas of sustainable development, human rights, poverty, terrorism, transnational crime, and climate change. As a Pacific Island Forum Dialogue partner, I am grateful to note the importance Turkey places in its collaboration with Samoa and the Pacific region through its assistance with the donation of much needed hygiene products to assist the Pacific region with its responses to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have also collaborated through regional engagement in programs initiated by the Turkish Cooperation and Coordination Agency, TICA. Samoa looks forward to collaborate with Turkey to further strengthen the existing cordial bilateral relations and cooperation to promote our sustainable development goals and matters of mutual interests, including reciprocal support for our nominated candidates to international organizations for the benefit of our two countries. Excellency, I wish you well in your tenure as Ambassador of the Republic of Turkey to Samoa. Your Excellency, Dr. Scholz Gabor Hetesi, this year in September will mark the 11th anniversary since the establishment of diplomatic relations between Samoa and Hungary. Indeed, the pandemic has created challenges during these difficult times At the global front, however, Samoa is confident of the opportunities available to further enhance close cooperation with Hungary at the multilateral level through the United Nations and ACP-EU in areas of common interest. Samoa continues to benefit from the EU assistance bilaterally and through regional programs over the years in the areas of water management sector, renewable energy, medical equipment, and other areas of mutual interest. The Schengen visa waiver arrangements already in place for Samoa has made it possible for our citizens to travel to the Schengen countries with ease of entry. And this arrangement is reciprocated to the Schengen states for entry into Samoa. The gradual reopening of borders in the near future provides opportunities to further boost tourism development and people-to-people relations between our countries. Excellency, I wish your country the very best in the upcoming EU presidency in 2024, and we look forward to opportunities it may bring for enhancing not only our relations bilaterally, but also our engagement at the Pacific region and the multilateral fora in the areas of sustainable development, climate change, and our response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Excellency, I wish you well in your tenure as Ambassador of Hungary to Samoa. Soifua, and God bless.